Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Storyteller. Today, we are playing what is known as the Lost Chapters. This is a mod that brings 13 completely new chapters to the game. If you want to know how to do it yourself, I'll drop a link in the bio. But yeah, we're going to play through this, and I also wanted to say thank you all for the support. It's been crazy, as always. It's always been crazy. I want to say thank you for 40,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to keep this going. So without further ado, let's get to Storyteller. So everyone dies happy. We have wedding and death. I'm assuming it's just everyone gets together and then they die. So we start Edgar and Lenora. And then I guess Edgar dies first. Lenora has a heartbreak, but then we have Bernard and Lenora get together. And then Lenora dies, which leaves Bernard heartbroken. If Bernard doesn't see Lenora's death and dies, okay. So he just can't have the heartbreak of seeing the death, but maybe they die at the same time. And that's what happens. As soon as you had that, no longer any good. So spouses commit murder. We have Witch, Haiti, Tiny, and Peachy. Will the witch marry everybody? Okay, so she'll marry Haiti, Okay, so she will not marry Peachy, but she will marry Haiti and Tiny. And I'm assuming they need to be married at the time they commit murder. If the witch... Okay, interesting. Tiny is still into the witch, even though she says she's married. What about... Or I guess we could try Haiti. Okay, so Peachy actually gets heartbroken if he says he's married. Would the witch kill Peachy? No. Maybe the witch needs to find out that Peachy is interested? No. If y'all get married... So if we have Tiny and Peachy get married, and then they both say they are in love with the other. So that's not going to motivate to push either. Maybe I need to have the non-hateful couple together. And then if we then put the witch and Haiti together. Okay. What if we have her... Okay. What if we have Tiny and Peachy together? The witch wants to marry Tiny. Witch says that... Or the Tiny tells the witch that he is in love with Peachy. If she then tries to marry Haiti, she still loves him. But will she still murder Peachy? Okay. So she will still murder Peachy even though she is now married I mean, I'm assuming she's happily married. So we gotta double do this. Witch tries to marry Tiny, he says no. And then Haiti tries to marry Peachy, she says no. They both get married, which pushes Peachy off the cliff. Haiti is gonna push Tiny off the cliff. So technically, even though they are married, the spouses commit murder. That one took a minute. That one actually took a minute. I'm curious to see how these levels go. So Isabel kills her wife. I think this is going to be an unintentional poisoning. They're gonna have to be married at the time. So we know that Isabel and Lenora are gonna have to be married. We know that Isabel's gonna have to drag the poison. Lenora's gonna drink the wine. We know these steps must happen. What if we have a gap here? What if Lenora and Edgar are married? Okay, we're gonna get rid of that because that might spoil something. Lenora and Edgar are married, but then, and then, actually, you know, Isabel's interested in Edgar. She's like, no, I cannot marry you because I'm married to Edgar. So then she grabs the poison with intent on killing Edgar. However, before he can drink the poison, Edgar dies. So then Isabel and Lenora can now get married. But before Isabel can unpoison the wine. Lenora drinks it and dies. So Isabel kills her wife, which is kind of unfortunate, honestly. So Widower marries Greenie. So we're gonna have, I guess, Tiny and Haiti are together. But then Tiny and Haiti get into a fight. Haiti pushes Tiny off the cliff. Can we just straight up we revive Tiny? And then is Tiny gonna marry Greenie? Okay, no. Because Widower would be Tiny, right? In this case, I mean, Haiti's alive. I'm not being dumb, right? Like Haiti and Greenie getting married? Oh, okay. So it is Haiti was the one to get married. So Widower marries Greenie after marrying Tiny. Okay, and then after marrying Haiti, does that just flip? No. They do this, they fight. Tiny, so yeah, because Tiny's not gonna push Haiti off. Haiti pushes Tiny off. Maybe Tiny comes back, and then Tiny pushes Haiti off, and then Tiny marries Greenie. Okay, so basically, Haiti pushes Tiny off the cliff, and then Tiny comes back. Tiny did not forget what Haiti did. So then that happens, and then they get married. But after marrying Greenie, Haiti, pushes Greenie off. Greenie comes back. Greenie push Haiti, and then Tiny and Haiti. Well, technically we need Haiti to get married. It's like the same couple needs to get married, right? And if they both die, so if Haiti or if Greenie scares Haiti off, can they get remarried in the afterlife? No. So Greenie and Tiny are together. That we have to have after marrying Greenie. I do think there needs to be a fight. I don't know if Haiti fights Greenie, I mean, Haiti's gonna be the one to push. Because I think if Tiny and Greenie get in a fight anyways, Tiny's gonna be mad, but he's not gonna push Greenie. So if Haiti and Greenie get in a fight, Haiti pushes Greenie. And then Greenie can come back. And then Tiny and Greenie. Okay, Hades our only one who will push. So in this case, Tiny and Greenie get together. Technically, Greenie gets in a fight with Haiti, who has nothing to do with their relationship. Haiti kills him, but Greenie comes back. And because Tiny was never mad at Greenie, they are back to being married. They are back in love, and we are good to go. That one, I like that they have the little extras. I do. But this one, kind of tricky. Kind of tricky. So Isabel drinks poison. I wonder if we could do something simple as Edgar and Lenora together. Isabel wants to be with Lenora. She sees the poison and then maybe she forgets and then sees the poison. No. Something needs to happen. What if instead, okay, we have those two and then Bernard and Isabel are together. But then Lenora forgets she's married. I guess Bernard can't forget. Edgar forgets he's married. And then, well, that doesn't work. I definitely think we need Isabel to be happy. Maybe Lenora has amnesia. Lenora then marries Edgar. And then Lenora goes to renew vows with Isabel. Isabel doesn't get heartbroken. She just gets mad. And then if she forgets, that doesn't change anything either. If there was like a wine thing, I feel like we could like poison the wine, make Isabel have amnesia, and then she would drink that, but we don't have wine. What would happen? Isabel, Lenora are happy. And then Lenora has amnesia. They're happy. Bernard, Edgar are happy. Lenora has amnesia. So then Lenora wants to marry Edgar. And then she drinks poison. Then Isabel sees Lenora. I feel like maybe the ghost is the right track. Where can we take one out? Does Isabel truly need to see the ghost, though? Because if she gets rejected and then Lenora drinks poison, Isabel's already sad. Isabel's already sitting here thinking of Lenora. Would she, if her wife is dead? Okay, so that's all that needs to happen for her to drink the poison. It's just that she has, I guess, I don't even know, I guess she knows she's dead, but she doesn't have to have any kind of, there's any jealousy. She will poison someone else. The only way she feels heartbreak is if her own spouse has died. So Greenie murders Tiny. We know Haiti is our cliff pusher. So if we have Tiny Haiti, and then Greenie wants to get with Haiti. He's sad, but he's not going to push him. So there also needs to be a seance. You know we need Greenie and Tiny together. That's going to happen at the end. We need a seance, but who and what, I don't know. First question is, why would Greenie want to murder Tiny? I feel like maybe we do Tiny and Peachy together? Oh, okay. Maybe we do Tiny Peachy together. We do Greenie Haiti together. So we have two couples happening simultaneously. However, Haiti also kind of wants Tiny, or maybe they're not married yet. Maybe y'all aren't married yet. Maybe Haiti is interested in Peachy, but Peachy said or interested in Tiny, but then Tiny tells Haiti, "Hey, I love Peachy." So to get them out of the picture, we're gonna have Haiti push Peachy. So then Tiny, missing Peachy, has a seance. So Tiny talks to Peachy. She tells him that Haiti is the one that killed her. While this is happening, Greenie and Haiti have found love. So then Tiny pushes Haiti off the cliff. And then Greenie, missing Haiti, has a seance, tells him it was Tiny. So then Greenie pushes Tiny off the cliff. You would think with all of these cliff deaths that not everyone would just chill at the cliff, but it is still a popular hangout spot apparently. So everyone's heartbreak is healed. I guess that means we're gonna have some weddings. So Edgar and Lenora are married. Bernard and Isabel are married. Unfortunately, Edgar is gonna die. And then Bernard is gonna die. So then Isabel and Lenora are together. We're gonna put Edgar comes back. That's gonna be too many frames, because then if he sees Lenora's dead, then that's not gonna work. We might need to do a duplicate spouse. So we're gonna do Edgar and Lenora married. Edgar dies. Lenora is heartbroken. So then Lenora, Isabel get married, but then Lenora dies. Then Bernard, Isabel get married. Isabel dies. If we revive Edgar, that's not gonna fix that because Edgar doesn't know Lenora is dead. But we're close. We got at least 3 out of 4 heartbreaks. If Edgar and Lenora are together, and then Isabel, or actually, Bernard wants to be with Lenora, technically he has a heartbreak there. Okay, so we got a rejection, right? So then Edgar has a heartbreak there. So there's 2. To fix this, Edgar marries Bernard marries Isabel. That's fixing that one. And then we need, I guess, Bernard to die because Isabel will only feel jealousy. She doesn't have heartbreak unless they die. But then Lenora comes back, sees that Edgar has died, and then Lenora and Isabel get married. That fixes y'all's heartbreak. I guess Edgar is still heartbroken. Close. but not quite. Edgar, Lenora, Mary. I guess, actually, instead of starting, let's start with Isabel, because we know she can't feel heartbreak right away. Because then what we could do, Edgar tries to marry Lenora. Bernard tries to marry Lenora. And then, I guess, Edgar and Bernard get back together. So that heals their heartbreaks. Lenora dies, which breaks Isabel's heart. Lenora comes back, sees that Isabel is dead. But then who would she marry? Instead of y'all getting married right away, we have Isabel and Lenora get married. So we have all 3 heartbreaks. I guess now Isabel can marry Edgar. And then Lenora comes back, tries to marry, or tries to come back to Isabel. Isabel says she's married to Edgar now. So she's like, fine, I'm gonna marry Bernard. And that works. Okay. Having too many deaths makes it a little hard, but just having the 1 death works out. We have to start with Isabel because she gets jealous, and the only way she gets heartbroken is dying. In this case, Lenora had to die, so everyone got heartbroken. But then in the end, Lenora married Bernard, and all is good. So the mirror betrays Isabel. What happens? Okay. So Mirror tells Isabel that, likes Lenora better, obviously praises Lenora. So Isabel gets the poison. Lenora drinks the wine. So then Mirror praises Isabel. But then Lenora comes back. And so now Isabel is angry again because the mirror now says Lenora is better. I guess also prettier, fairest of them all, however you want to say it. So the witch curses couple. We have a cauldron, forest, and wedding. Well, I think the prince and Snowy need to get together. So the witch likes the prince. I guess the witch tries to marry the prince and then curses him. And what does she do anything to Snowy? She does not. Can she try to marry Snowy? Okay, no, she does not care about Snowy. Cauldron, I guess, turns her back. And even then, yeah, they will not marry each other. And in this state, nothing happens either. What if instead of being the hag, when she talks to the prince, she's the witch? Okay, so now instead of just rejecting her, he specifically tells her that he is in love with Snowy. So in the forest, so she does not turn him into a frog. Does she only turn people into frogs as the hag? Is that like her cover story? Okay, so turns him into a frog and then turns Snowy into a frog. Interesting. I figured she would do it in both forms, but good to know that she will only do it as the hag. Isabel hates everyone. Does that have to do with the mirror? This makes her dislike the prince. I guess the witch will also find out about the prince. But she will turn him into a frog. But then witch finds out Isabel is the fairest. Does that, which I guess makes her become a frog. But then Tiny wants to kiss her. I don't think that makes her hate Tiny. I feel like to make her hate Tiny, maybe she goes to the mirror as a frog. Okay. So she hates the prince because the mirror likes him better, which at the same time goes to the mirror, or a little bit after, hates the prince, so she turns him to a frog, which then makes the mirror love Isabel. Because the mirror loves Isabel, the witch turns her into a frog, which in theory makes her hate the witch. And in her new frog form, she talks to the mirror, and the mirror loves Tiny, so Isabel hates everyone. So the prince imprisons the witch. So we know the witch doesn't like Snowy, which will turn Snowy into frog. Will Snowy tell the prince who did it? And will that make him kidnap? That will not. We know the frogs can't kiss in the woods. And all the mirror does is praise the prince. The mirror won't tell the prince who did it. Because if the witch Or if Mirror hates him, the witch will turn the prince into a frog. I said in the forest, they can talk to each other, but I don't think that makes the prince... Oh, okay, so the prince can imprison the witch as a frog. So now we need the prince imprisons the witch as a human. Do we even need this step? We get rid of this and this. So it turns into frog. If the prince just sees Snowy and tells her she loves... Or maybe... Could we have the witch wants to see Snowy and then just kidnaps her? The prince lets her go. Snowy tells him that the witch did it. So then he kidnaps the witch? No, he doesn't care enough to kidnap the witch. Do y'all need to like meet in the woods first? Is that the thing? Y'all need to fall in love? Okay, we just need to have a little more passion there, and then that works. It's kind of funny to me how he has absolutely no reaction to the kidnapping, but it works, and that's all that matters. We have the curse. In the forest. Yeah, she doesn't... I was gonna say, she doesn't fall in love with anybody in the forest. Would she even attempt to kiss? No. Would y'all attempt to kiss? No. But what... And Isabel doesn't care about the cauldron. If she turns herself into this form, we have... Okay, well, she loves her, but she's not gonna kiss. Would Isabel kidnap her over this, actually? Oh, okay. So you would kidnap the witch because she rejected you because she said she was straight. Interesting. But all right. So Isabel kidnaps the witch and then Snowy lets her out. Snowy doesn't really care, but the witch turns back into the hag. And then when she runs into Isabel in the woods, turns her into a frog, which is now a curse. So the witch reverses her curse. Did it have anything to do with the prince? I got it, okay. So she turns Snowy into a frog, and then she sees the prince. So then she turns the prince into a frog. But then she turns herself back, and then will kiss the prince. No. Maybe... Does she need to get rejected first? Because if they meet in the woods, she turns him into a frog. You know, goes to talk to him. She is not... Oh. Okay, so even though she's kind of angry here, she still kisses him. So she reversed her curse on the prince. Now she needs to reverse her curse on Snowy. This is definitely about the mirror. So then, boom, this happens. She needs to get, if she gets rejected by the prince, turns him into frog. And then she goes to kiss, and it's Snowy? Okay. They're at because I didn't know if they needed to meet in the forest first to kind of discuss their identities beforehand, but this works. So this one, she curses Snowy based on looks, goes, you know, to curse the prince as well for rejecting her kiss as the hag. And then when she turns back, she kisses who she thinks is the prince, but it's actually Snowy. So she reverses her curse on Snowy. So double heartbreak. This is like a... She gets mad. They kiss. She loves. Okay. If they... So they love each other. Does he say anything? He doesn't say anything. If they love each other and then kiss, does it make it like extra special? No. And there is no cauldron, so we can't turn the witch into her other form. Mirror, it likes Prince. So she can turn him into a frog, go back to the mirror, likes Isabel, and then she can turn Isabel into a frog. And they kiss each other as frogs. No. Or if they talk to each other, can they kiss each other as frogs? They can, but it doesn't do anything. I just need to figure out what is the first way we can have a heartbreak. If we do this, I see the prince has a heartbreak. So I'm wondering if the other heartbreak is Isabel gets turned into a frog, and then maybe she tries to kiss the prince and he says, "No, ill, you're a frog." But that might not work. What if instead of Isabel, learning that he's the most beautiful, what if Witch learns, turns him into frog, Prince as a frog tries to go in for a kiss, Isabel says no, and then the witch finds out Isabel's the most beautiful, turns her into a frog. They talk, but then when they go for that kiss, she still says yes, even though she rejected him earlier. Do they need to meet up pre-frog? Like afterwards he explains, "I'm the prince." Okay. Interesting. So Isabel and the prince get together. She finds out he's beautiful. Frog. He doesn't explain who he is, just wants to kiss Isabel because they had that connection earlier. Heartbreak. But then afterwards he explains, "But I am the prince." And she's like, "Oh, interested." Same time, Hag comes in here, tells her that Isabel's the most beautiful, turns Isabel into frog because they haven't had another conversation. I guess he thinks she is a random frog, and then she is heartbroken. I guess that works. So, detective arrests murderer. Murderer is arrested. Well, butler grabs gun. Butler will shoot the duke. And there's not enough frames for the butler to put the gun back, because he's not gonna tell the detective that he's doing it. So we don't have time for the detective to look at prints and everything. And yeah, I guess instead of looking for prints, the detective is gonna try a new method of having a seance with the duke, who tells him that the butler did it. So now he arrests the butler. The butler gets shot. Now, we've had this scenario, but not with this few of frames. I'm assuming the butler will also, he will kidnap both of them pretty quickly. The butler kidnaps the duke, and then the Duchess finds him and lets him out. She is angry. She grabs the gun with the intention of killing the butler, and then shoots the butler. That was actually pretty easy. Honestly, we could have had this in the regular game and it would have made things happen so much easier. Butler gets revenge on detective. We have a witness this time. Witness and kidnap. So instead of arresting, I guess would the detective kidnap the butler? So maybe detective witnesses the butler killing the duke instead of arresting the detective, or I guess this is kind of jail. The Duchess, looking for another drink, wants to know, "Hey, why did you get kidnapped?" And I guess, does he still have the gun? No, he still does not. He does not have the gun. So kidnapping gets rid of gun, which makes sense. But it has to be revenge on detective, because if she witnesses, oh, she won't even kidnap him. She's scared of him. What if it was opposite? What if he shot? Okay, so he would kidnap. So the Duke would kidnap the butler. And then he'll let him out. But then this isn't gonna do anything for me. Detective needs to witness, I think. Because that's the only reason he would kidnap. And then if he gets let out, he has to go back and grab the gun, which this is too many frames. Instead of killing the detective, can the butler kidnap? Oh, And he's like, "You still murdered the Duchess." Okay. So I think I was like overthinking it. I guess it doesn't say shoots him, so that is equal revenge. Detective learns he released a murderer, and we have no witness. So Butler grabs gun. Butler murders the Duke. The Duchess, missing her husband, has a seance. So then she traps. Oh yeah, she won't trap him. Switch. So he traps the butler. And then the detective, not knowing any better, lets out the butler. But now that he knows the crime, he has a seance and learns that he released a murderer. So detective learns he released a murder before the release, and a murder occurs after the release. So if the murder occurs after the release, what reason would the Duke have get rid of him? If the butler grabs the gun, the Duke realizes it's missing. He doesn't know that the butler is the one who took it, so he won't kidnap him. What if the butler kidnaps the Duke? Detective lets him out. Or no, Duchess lets him out. So then she kidnaps the butler. The detective doesn't know any better, lets him out. He grabs gun and then kills her. But then detective doesn't have time to learn what happened. If she gets let out and the Duke's angry, the Duke will grab the gun. If it's the opposite, is she gonna be mad enough to grab the gun? Okay, she will. But it's not the Duchess that needs to know, it's the detective. The detective is gonna let him out. And while the detective is pondering all this, the Duke grabs the gun and, with his eyes on revenge, shoots the butler. Now the detective, trying to figure out what happened, has a seance with the butler, and he learns that the Duke is the one who killed him, so the person he let out was a murderer, and the murder occurred after the release. This makes more sense because there's less steps that need to happen. In order to have the butler, I think, also be the murderer, we just have to have too many kidnappings, and that's just not gonna work. Duke imprisons his wife. So we have to have a witness of some kind. The Duke has to witness the butler and the Duchess doing something. This he doesn't care about. Because if we do this, it's like, okay, you're just ordering the butler around like you always do. Maybe butler imprisons Duke. Duchess lets him out. Duchess grabs the gun. The Duke witnesses. Let's see, the Duke witnesses the Duchess killed the butler. And because he saw her with the gun, he imprisons her because he is scared. Even though she killed the butler for him, / because of him. But, is what it is. Double arrest. Butler grabs gun. Butler kills the Duchess. And then puts the gun back. And then, this is what's gonna happen. The Duke touches the gun. So the detective sees the prints of the Duke. The detective arrests the Duke. Something doesn't feel right. He doesn't feel like he got the right guy. The detective decides to have a seance and he learns that the butler is the one who did it. So then the detective arrests the butler. The Duchess imprisons detective. I wonder if we could follow a similar kind of thing here. Well, Butler can't grab the gun and then kill him, and then detective imprisons him. No, he has to do some kind of investigation first. Puts it back. Detective finds prints. Detective imprisons the butler. The Duchess figures this out. He doesn't say that the butler or that the detective put him away. So she doesn't care. What if the butler With the butler kills the Duke, puts the gun back. The Duchess has a seance with the Duke, learns that the butler did it. She goes to kill the butler, so she does that. And then to avoid prison, kidnaps him, but that doesn't work either. The only way I see the Duchess imprisoning the detective is if he imprisons the Duke. Maybe I got this wrong. Maybe Butler kidnaps Duchess. Duke lets him out. Duke grabs gun. Duke shoots Butler. Duke puts back gun. Detective sees the Duke did it. He traps him. And then Duchess lets him out. We need one less step. Instead of putting gun back, he has a seance. Actually. There we go. Okay. Duke shoots Butler. There is a seance where the detective finds out the Duke is the one who killed him. So he charges him with a crime and kidnaps him. However, the Duchess finds him, finds out the detective did it, so then she turns around and imprisons the detective. Okay. I tried a bunch of different things with this. Feels a lot simpler now when you know the answer than whenever you're trying everything, but glad we finally got there. Peachy remarries. I guess Peachy and Tiny are married. I am your mother. So then she marries Haiti. Okay. So this is how we have a divorce. You just find out that's your mother. Interesting. Tiny murders his grandfather. Okay, so Haiti is gonna be the grandfather. I'm your parent. So I'm assuming it's Peachy tells Tiny I'm your mother. And then Haiti tells Peachy I am your father. So we have established lineage here. We have the mirror though. Haiti is gonna learn that his daughter is more beautiful. So Haiti pushes Peachy off the cliff. Tiny, missing his mother, has a seance, learning that Haiti is the one who did it. So Tiny pushes Haiti off the cliff, who was also his grandfather. Tiny gets revenge on his brother. All right, so I think we also need to establish things here. I know Haiti will push, so I think Greenie needs to be the father, but there is no revive. But it doesn't say Tiny has to get revenge while he's alive. So if we establish that Greenie is Papa, and then Tiny and Peachy are married, but then Haiti wants to marry Peachy. So then Haiti gets rid of Tiny. But then, back from the grave, Tiny spooks Haiti off the cliff. But now Tiny gets revenge on his brother-in-law. So we know that Haiti and Peachy are related. Then they get married. Haiti and Tiny are brother-in-laws. Now, Haiti is not going to want to get with Peachy because they're siblings. So Haiti is also not going to just push Tiny for no reason. Haiti will get mad at him for loving Tiny, or because he wants to be with Tiny. Would he push? Yeah. Oh, but he would push Peachy, so he would push his own sister. And then Tiny, knowing that Peachy is dead, push Haiti? No. And we have to establish lineage, because y'all are together, because siblings, and then Tiny marries into the family. Unless we don't know their family right away. So then they maybe they try to get together. They don't know they're siblings yet. Okay, and then they find out they are siblings. So then Haiti pushes Tiny. And then Tiny gets revenge. Okay, so establishing lineage too early causes problems. So as long as, I guess you can have a crush on your sister before you know she's your sister, then everything works out. Greenie imprisoned spouse. So we also have family here too. Let me guess. Peachy is the number 1, but that is not going to cause him to imprison Peachy. We know Haiti will kidnap Peachy, but see, that doesn't change anything with the mirror. So I guess Greenie and Haiti need to get married, and then Haiti thinks he's happy with life, finds out that Peachy is better looking than him, so he kidnaps Peachy, which I guess maybe Peachy could be Greenie's mother? Maybe? You would think you would know that's like your mother-in-law, but okay. So yeah, Peachy's beautiful. Haiti finds out that Greenie's mother, Peachy, is the most beautiful, kidnaps her. Greenie lets her out, but he tells her that Haiti is the one who did it, and because he is upset that his spouse imprisoned his mother, he imprisons his spouse. So, Greenie is a mama's boy, and you do not mess with his mother, or he will imprison you, even if you are married. Haiti is murdered by his father-in-law. So, we know that I guess Greenie is gonna be Haiti's son. I guess Greenie and Bluey are together? But then Haiti wants to get with Bluey? So oh wait, no, Haiti needs to be the father-in-law. Okay. Hold on. Okay, we're doing this backwards. Greenie is Bluey's father. Haiti wants to be with yeah, because then Greenie and Bluey can't be together because that's obviously weird. Maybe they find out after? So Greenie and Bluey are together. They have the realization later. Haiti wants to be with Bluey, but he finds out he's in love with Greenie. Greenie and Bluey have the realization that they are related, but before Haiti knows, he kills Greenie. And then Greenie turns around and murders Haiti. Oh, Greenie, and then we're gonna have Haiti, Bluey get together, and then, okay. Forgot the part where it needs to actually be his father-in-law. We got a little too murder happy there. Tiny murders stepfather to avenge his father. So, let's see, I guess I am mother, and then I guess we will have Greenie is papa. So we have Tiny's parents. And then to establish that, they're also going to be married. We have everyone together. Haiti wants to be with Peachy. So then Haiti murders Greenie. Now that Peachy is single, Haiti and Peachy are together. But Tiny, missing his father, has a seance where he learns that his stepfather, Haiti, is the one that murdered him. So then Tiny murders Haiti. Some of these are straightforward, and I like it. I feel like the Lineage ones are a little more straightforward than the crime ones. So Haiti and Greenie murder their parents. So I guess I don't know if that means I have to be related or not. So we can at least establish like Tiny as father, and then maybe Peachy as like Greenie's mother. And then we could have Haiti. Let's see. We could have Tiny and Peachy together. And then Haiti wants to be with Peachy. So then he gets rid of his father. So that can happen. At the same time, if Greenie wants to get with Tiny, he's heartbroken. So he's not going to do a murder. He will not. Oh, he is not going to murder his mother. He's just sad. We need anger or some kind of motivation. Yeah, Haiti's going to murder his father, no problem. I mean, we could kidnap, but I mean, even in this case, he would kidnap Tiny, and then he's kidnapped there. If he heard this, would he kidnap his mother? No. What if instead of, I think maybe what's throwing me off too is we have father and mother. What if instead of having two opposite parents, we just have like the grandfather lineage here, right? So Tiny is Hades' father, and then Hades is Greenie's father. Peachy and Tiny are married, so this is like grandma situation. But since they're not directly related, Hades wants to be with Peachy. Peachy says, no, I'm with Tiny. So what if Hades kidnaps Tiny, his own father, and then Greenie lets him out? So then Hades gets rid of Tiny, and then because Hades kidnapped Tiny, Greenie takes care of Hades. And that is Hades and Greenie murder their parents with no incest. Hades makes this work. Everyone forgives Isabel, and we have a new scene of forgive that just looks like wedding. Okay. And kidnap. So I guess Lenora and Bernard are married. And then Isabel wants to be with Lenora. So she kidnaps Bernard. And then Lenora finds Bernard. But then Lenora forgives Isabel, and then Bernard also forgives Isabel. Interesting use of this scene. I guess it's just like the chapel without any kind of altar or anything. I like it. We have Isabel drinks poison, but this is a different combo because we have fight along with remorse. I wonder if Lenora and Isabel get in a fight. So then Isabel gets ready to poison Lenora. Lenora dies. Isabel feels remorse for poisoning Lenora. So then she drinks the poison herself. And that was easy. Isabel drinks poison for a third time. So we have wedding, fight, poison, wine, and forgive. If they just fight, I mean, do they have to get married? Like Edgar does that. Can he forgive as a ghost? He cannot forgive as a ghost because then she is satisfied with everything, I guess. Okay. What if they get in a fight? She gets ready to poison Edgar, but then Edgar forgives Isabel and she forgets about the poison and drinks the wine. Okay, no. She does clearly remember that she poisoned the wine. Oh, or what if they forgive, Edgar drinks the wine, and then she's upset that Edgar still got poisoned after they forgave each other and drinks the wine. What if they forgive and got married? Okay. So now that maybe this is like enemies to lovers, right? So they were fighting. Isabel got the poison ready for him, but they forgave each other and realized they loved each other and got married. Well, Isabel, forgetting about the poison wine, leaves it lying around for Edgar to drink. Because Edgar drank the wine and killed himself, Isabel feels remorse and drinks the poison to join Edgar. A heartbreak is healed. Edgar and Lenora get together. Isabel wants to get with Edgar, but says he's in love with Lenora. So then Isabel's gonna poison Lenora, and yeah, he doesn't know that Isabel's the one who did the poison. And we can't have any heartbreak without the death. At least Edgar isn't gonna have a heartbreak, because I think if Lenora were to drink the poison, he would just... Oh, Okay, so I guess in this case, we don't have to have an actual broken heart. So in theory, Edgar's heartbroken because Lenora died, but now we have a double healed heart. So we need like double death, I'm gathering. Okay. So this works one way. We can maybe do... Wait. If they're together and then Isabel wants to be with Lenora, can she forgive Edgar? Is that something that works? She can forgive Edgar? No, because she'll grab the poison. She wants to poison Edgar. And then we do this. I mean, if they just get married, no, because that's not who she wanted. Or maybe she forgives Edgar. I don't know what she would forgive him for. And then they get married. Okay. So yeah. So Isabel wants to be with Lenora, wants to poison Edgar, accidentally poisons Lenora. She forgives Edgar for not drinking the poison trap, and then gets married to Edgar. So her heartbreak and his heartbreak are both healed. Everyone marries Bernard. So we had like everyone rejects Edgar, but Bernard gets to marry everybody. So I guess we'll just start with Bernard and Lenora. And then Isabel wants to marry Bernard. That doesn't happen. So she grabs the poison. And Lenora drinks the poison. However, instead of Bernard marrying her, Bernard marries Edgar, I think. And then, oh, that's going to take too many steps. Because maybe she needs to get married, but then she has remorse. So then she drinks the poison, and then Bernard and Edgar get married. And there we go. Curious though, because yeah, if we did it this way, yeah, I think we'd have to have another rejection scene because she wouldn't grab the poison again. And that makes sense. Mutual ghost fight. And we have 9 frames. So this is our first one with 9. I believe, I guess we start with the fight. And then, Isabel's gonna poison Lenora. So then that happens. And then she feels remorse. And then drinks the poison. But then they fight. I guess because she felt remorse, she doesn't want to fight back. So we don't want remorse. I guess we want Lenore to come back. And then she's gonna poison Isabel. So now Isabel's dead. And then Lenore feels sad. So then she drinks the poison. And then they fight. Okay. So as long as Isabel isn't the one that's feeling remorse, they're good to keep fighting. Murderers marry each other. We have Edgar, Lenora, Isabel. I guess Edgar, Lenora are together. And then I guess we can kind of copy what we did before. Edgar wants to, Isabel wants to be with Edgar. He's in love with Lenora. He grabs the poison. Lenora dies. Lenora comes back. So then she grabs this, but Edgar dies? Then Edgar forgives. Can they just marry now? No, they still hate each other. Unless Edgar's the one that accidentally dies. Maybe he revives, forgives Isabel. But then how would he... If he doesn't forgive, he wants to poison her, but then accidentally poisons Lenora. So he forgives Isabel. No, he's sad. Does he have to forgive? Okay, so he does have to forgive in order for them to marry. So I guess he forgives her for previous poisoning. Still sad about Lenora though, but they are good enough to marry. So 2 accidental murderers marry each other, I guess. The queen gets rejected. That's gonna be a new one for the queen. Let's see. Yeah, she everyone is interested in marrying her, but she's not interested in marrying anyone. So I guess that means Baron, I guess, kidnaps queen. If the Baron kidnaps queen, will the knight... Okay, the knight will not marry anyone besides the queen. So we do that. And then they get married, or he lets her out. They get married. But then queen dies. So then knight marries maid. And then but then the queen would have to come back to get rejected by her spouse. So we're one frame too many. Maybe they don't need to get married. Maybe they don't need to get married. The knight rescues her, but then shortly after she dies, so the knight is sad and heartbroken. To fix his heartbreak, he marries the maid, but the queen comes back. And now that she is ready to marry her rescuer, she finds out he is married. So we have the queen gets rejected by the knight, and then without the knight. Did the maid let her out? And then that. Oh, okay, I guess without the knight in general. Will the maid marry the baron? No, there has to be royalty. If the queen dies, maid doesn't really care. It's only the knight. I mean, if she died and came back, is she gonna remember it was the baron? Yes. Okay, she does remember it was the baron. If we have the baron kidnap the queen and the maid rescue the queen, they can get married. But then if the queen dies, we can have the maid then marry the baron. But then we revive the queen, and this is too many. We take this away, then maid won't marry baron, and you won't marry knight. But if we have without the knight, does that mean the knight's not involved at all? Because what if the maid rescues the queen, but the knight sees that the queen is dead? So he opens up his heart to the maid. The queen revives, and then now to marry the maid? That's still getting rejected, and that doesn't include without the knight because the knight is definitely directly involved. What about the baron? He doesn't care that the queen's dead. There's no kind of power he gets. Yeah, if she's dead... Oh, okay. I guess this counts. So she's getting rejected without the knight. If this doesn't happen, that still counts. How does this count? Okay, so Baron kidnaps Queen, maid rescues Queen, she's in love with the Baron. The maid still wants to marry the Baron, but he rejects her because she's not royal. And then the Queen wants to get with the maid after anyways, but even though the Baron rejected her, the maid still loves the Baron. So the Queen gets rejected, so that's how the Queen gets rejected without the knight, I guess. But now the king gets rejected, and we have an affair. So we know they can kind of have an affair. Maid is sad, but she's not gonna kill the queen over it. However, if the maid is having an affair with the king, the queen will gladly push the maid. And then maybe the maid comes back, and because of what happened, she has an affair with the knight. No, because yeah, the king's only gonna have an affair. Is only gonna have an affair with the maid or the queen. To have a death, we gotta have some jealousy. So to have the jealousy, we're here with the queen have an affair with the knight after this? No. So even though you know your husband's cheating on you, you do not have an affair. So good on you, I guess. But how do we get the king to get rejected? That doesn't count as rejection. That's just anger. We need the maid to come back. and then have an affair with the knight, but they both love their respective monarchs. Well, if this happens, would she push? Okay, so she would push the king. If she saw the queen with the knight, that's not gonna do anything. Because, like, maybe the maid would push the queen? Would the king, and the king would scare the queen off? And then the knight and the maid can have an affair? So now the king comes back and he goes to try and have the affair with the maid again, and he gets rejected. Can our ghost watch from the bush? I feel like she would be satisfied with that. What about this? Yeah. The ghosts are gonna be in the bushes, so they both just have to kill each other first for the knight and the maid to be free of their ties. And then the king can now get rejected by the maid. Knight's coronation. I wonder if this is kind of tied to everyone sits on the throne. So, can we establish that the queen is the mother of the knight? So then the queen gets kidnapped by the baron. So then the knight becomes king. Now, without being in the royal family. I think the baron can be the son of the queen and still kidnap her. Baron sits on the throne. Knight finds the queen, lets her out. So then he kidnaps the baron, and with that, but he won't sit on the throne. I really don't think we need this family bit, but I think we do need something with the baron and the maid. You know, the only automatic kidnapping we're gonna have is baron and queen. Knight won't sit on the throne. Maid will sit on the throne. Baron will sit on the throne. If we go here, maid will let the queen out. And then, I mean, she'll kidnap the baron. But he won't sit on the throne because of her. But there's no way we can do love unless Baron is Papa. If Baron is Papa, kidnaps Queen. Okay. He sits on throne. Maid lets him out. She kidnaps Baron. And then no. I think this is somewhat of the right track. Well, we know Baron will kidnap Knight. Queen will let Knight out. Knight can turn around Baron. But, like, Queen never loses the crown, so crown's never available. We need, like, the Queen to, like, kidnap the Knight or somebody for him to not like her. The family. And then will he take it? Okay. Why did that take me so long? I feel like I almost tried this already. The Baron kidnaps the queen, makes the throne available. The Baron, I guess because I was telling the knight after the Baron became king that he was his father, so Baron tells the knight, I am your father. The maid is the one who rescues the queen. The queen, as retaliation, kidnaps the Baron again. The knight finds his father, finds out the queen did it, and he's so mad at the queen, he takes the crown for himself. There we go. Everyone gets the crown. Well, we can, I guess, do some lineage here. We can do, I guess, the queen and the king fight. And I guess he can't marry. He can't marry the maid because he's still married to the queen. If they fight, she only loves herself and the king. So, I am your mother. Let's see, will he then? Okay, then he will marry the maid. So having the realization of I am your mother makes them, I guess, get a divorce. The king and the maid marry. But then they find out that I am your father. So then the maid marries the knight. No. Family? I am your mother? So that'll kill his love for her? Oh no, then they're related. So that does not work. We do need a relation here so that breaks the heart. If we... Yeah, so that needs to happen prior to them potentially getting together. If we try to have the maid have the family... Okay. Oh, well, without any fights. So I think this works. So Queen tells the king, I am your mother. They get a divorce. That's not allowed. So the king marries the maid. The maid then tells the queen that she is her mother. And then the knight tells the queen that he is her father. We just have a lot of familial connections here. So then, now that they're established as family, the knight isn't obsessed with the queen. And then the maid isn't obsessed with the king. So they're free to marry. So everyone gets the crown without any fights. Knight gets executed. Well, I think he's gonna have to witness the affair. So then he's going to kill the king. And then I guess have an affair. You're not gonna know that. If we just revive the king, will he... Okay, he lost his crown by dying. It fell off when he went off the cliff. I mean, but if he has an affair with the... No, he still doesn't have a crown. So affair does not count as any kind of marriage. Would the queen open herself up for an affair if she saw this affair happen and then she killed the maid? So then would she be open? No, she would not be open to an affair with the knight. The queen can execute the maid. Then she can also execute the king. She won't execute the knight. The king can execute her for retaliation. And then the knight can kill the king because he killed the queen. And then if the king's revived... Wait, how did they have the crown there? Wait. Because if the knight witnesses it and pushes him, the king comes back without a crown. If we execute first, he somehow keeps the crown when he comes back? So then as retaliation, he executes the knight? Okay, so the knight gets executed for vengeance. Now we need the knight gets executed for jealousy. I feel like this is a mistake, but interesting. For jealousy means that he has to be with someone and the king execute. I think the king's gonna execute him because he's with the maid. Maybe, okay, let's go back to this story here. What if this happens? If this happens and the maid's revived, she will love the king. Queen executes the king. He's gonna come back and he doesn't have his crown. So for some reason, if he dies, I guess if he dies last, that's how he keeps his crown. We do this. There is no affair because she is a ghost. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. We're cooking. Okay. Queen witnesses the king and the maid together. The queen executes the king. The maid, upset, pushes the queen off the cliff. The king returns, but the maid has moved on. She is now with the knight, which makes the king upset. So now the king executes the knight for jealousy. King and queen usurp the throne. Aren't the king and queen on the throne? Well, would y'all kidnap each other? Okay, we're not gonna kidnap each other. We sit on throne. I guess, okay. If queen dies and then comes back, I guess she doesn't have a crown. So then she's upset and she will kidnap the king over it. So then she takes the throne back. I guess the king dies in captivity, comes back, kidnaps the queen, and then sits on the throne. Okay. So someone had to die first for one of the crowns to become, or to subtract a crown, I guess. And then they kidnap each other to fight over the other crown instead of just marrying each other so they both have a crown again. Knight is murdered by his spouse. Well, I guess we'll have Baron kidnap queen, Knight rescue queen, and then they get married. Well, Baron isn't happy about that, so he just goes ahead and he murders the queen. Now that the knight is the sole monarch, he kidnaps the knight, puts on a disguise, and lets him out. So now, no, he won't marry the dragon. What if the dragon's the one? What if the dragon's the one that or the Baron's the one that lets him out? No, he's looking at him because he knows that's suspicious. So Baron kidnaps Queen again and then like puts on the disguise to rescue her. I guess she's in love, but then she's still in love with the knight. So it's not like she will murder the knight because she loves someone else now. I mean, the Baron will do the murdering. The only other option is like if somehow they get married and then he's turning around, pushing him off the cliff. But how could we have a second marriage? Because if we do this and kidnap Queen and then take disguise off, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna marry. He's just angry. Unless Baron has disguise on from the get-go, and then Baron takes it off. No, he says he loves the queen. If we have them still get married, and then the queen dies. Okay, so that's what needed to happen. So Baron just needs to wear the disguise from the get-go. No one needs to know that the Baron is the one behind it. So he puts on the disguise, kidnaps the queen. When the knight rescues the queen, she tells him that a dragon did it. So without knowing any better, the queen and the knight get married. Well, that dragon comes and kills the queen. So then the Baron finally takes off his disguise. The knight gets married to the Baron, and because the Baron was the one behind it all from the beginning, he kills the knight. So the knight is murdered by his spouse. Everyone marries each other. And I'm assuming this chapter is going to have a little bit of the devil in it. So let's see. We know they can't exactly get married to the devil, but the devil can play a little part in tricking people that they are dead, or that their spouse is dead, I should say. So we can start Edgar and Lenora, and then Edgar thinks Lenora is dead. So then Edgar marries Bernard. And then we're going to have Bernard thinks that Edgar is dead. So then Bernard and Lenora. Oh, she also needs to know. Okay. Lenora also thinks Edgar is dead. And then now they marry? All right. We just had to make sure everyone knew, and then we were all good. Prince watches his love die. I don't remember what the devil can do with everybody. So it's just like a trick. And then he can put a hole in the boat. Okay. So I guess Prince and Snowy fall in love. The devil puts a hole in the boat. So then the prince and Snowy, they both die. We have the prince reject the hag. So then she turns him into a frog. Maybe beforehand, the prince and Snowy kiss. You know, we established the love there. So then this happens. Devil puts a hole in the boat. And then the prince, as a frog, kisses or tries to kiss Snowy. And because he's a frog, he's fine, but she drowns. So the prince watches his love die. Oh, Isabel murders her wife, but without poison this time. We have a cliff. So Isabel and Lenora get married. We're gonna have Lenora think that Isabel is gone. So then Lenora marries Edgar to heal her heart. But then Isabel comes to renew her vows with Lenora and gets upset. So then she pushes Lenora off the cliff. So she's mad, but not mad enough to push her off yet. This feels like the beginning is accurate. Maybe she finds out Lenora's like cheating on her this way. Like, I love Lenora, you love Lenora, without talking to Lenora? No. What if instead of them being married first, we have Edgar and Lenora are married, and then Edgar and Lenora are married. Isabel wants to be with Edgar, because after this, she would push Lenora here. That happened. Lenora thought Edgar was dead. Could she marry her with an ulterior motive? No, Isabel's just angry. The only thing I think we haven't tried is like Isabel and Lenora both being married to Edgar. So what if Isabel and Lenora are married? Isabel thinks Lenora's dead. Lenora thinks Isabel is dead. So then Lenora and Edgar get together, and then Isabel tries to get with Edgar, and then she pushes her. Okay. So they both have to think each other is dead, have the multiple heartbreak, and then that's how she pushes her. Interesting that without this piece, she won't push her. But this changes everything. So Snowy saves the witch. Let's see, we know this happens and then turns her into frog. So this is how she's gonna turn into a frog. We know that Snowy is going to need to kiss Witch Frog. So Witch tries to kiss Prince, gets rejected, turns him into frog. Then Snowy meets up with Prince Frog. In this moment, the devil messes with the cauldron and turns it into a frog potion. So when the hag drinks it, she turns into a frog. Now Snowy, thinking she's about to kiss the prince, kisses the witch. I like how she's kissing her nose. I think that's the one time they actually contact each other. 'Cause yeah, even when she kisses the prince, there's a gap. So we make full-on contact with the nose. Nice. The mirror praises everyone. All right, so we know first up is gonna be Snowy. Now, does the mirror need to praise the devil? That is the real question. I guess. How do we get rid of just Snowy though? Do we just put just her on the boat isn't enough. That he doesn't add any weight to the boat because he's flying. Because if we do this, then the mirror praises the hag. But we still need the mirror to praise Prince. So I get it. Witch talks to the mirror praises Snowy. The devil makes the frog juice. The witch drinks the frog juice. Okay, so we have the kiss. Devil is going to put a hole in the boat. So then Witch as the frog is on the boat, tries to kiss Snowy. Well, Snowy drowns. We go back to the mirror. Well, now the prince is the most attractive. So, the boat with the hole in it, we put the prince and then frog, frog witch again. So now that takes care of the prince. So now when the witch comes back, she is praised by the mirror in her little froggy form. Lenora kidnaps her wife. I think this is going to be a similar mechanic to what we had earlier, where Isabel and Lenora are married, and Isabel thinks Lenora's dead. Lenora thinks Isabel is dead. So then Lenora and Edgar get together, and then Isabel wants to be with Edgar. So then Isabel goes ahead and kidnaps Lenora. Edgar lets her out. Would she turn around? Okay, she would turn around and kidnap Isabel. So we don't necessarily need the poison in the seance, because my other thought would be Isabel kills Edgar, she has a seance, finds out about it, and then kidnaps her. But this way we do it, and there's still a frame left. So I think that's good. So Peachy avenges her son, whom she fought. All right, well, I guess we're gonna make Greenie the son, because I think Haiti will kill Greenie, and then she will kill Haiti on behalf of Greenie. So she's gonna fight with Greenie, but she loves him. Haiti is just gonna randomly fight with Greenie, and then Haiti pushes Greenie off the cliff. Peachy, missing her son, has a seance. So then she pushes Haiti. Oh, are you glad Haiti killed your son? Okay. Maybe they fight prior to discovering they are family. Maybe there's some kind of conflict there. So it's like they fight. Okay. They fight. She then tells them, I don't know why you're mad at me. I am your mother. Then Greenie fights with Haiti. That whole push happens because they kind of forgave each other already. In the seance, whenever he tells her that Haiti pushed him, then she'll push Haiti. Okay. So yeah, it's just the order of the fighting and the parentage. Haiti drinks poison. Okay, Haiti doesn't know what to do with the poison. If Haiti fights with somebody and then he sees the poison, he still doesn't know what to do with it. Okay. Maybe we need to establish parent here. So what if Tiny is his dad? And then let's see. Tiny Greenie fight. I mean, but they're not gonna push. They're gonna be mad, but they're not gonna push each other. If they fight and then Haiti kills his dad, does he doesn't have any kind of remorse, so he's not gonna drink the poison. Maybe we don't do the family thing right away. He pushes him. Or we could do like Greenie is parent. And then Greenie is also parent. Okay. There we go. Haiti and Tiny get in a fight. They're brothers. He kills his brother. Thinking about how he killed his brother, he drinks the poison. So Haiti drinks poison, and this is murderer Haiti. There's also pacifist Haiti. Instead of pushing, what if is it just if he kidnaps? Okay. So it's not enough to just kidnap. Okay, so Haiti's gonna drink poison because a family member dies. So, father, Tiny Greenie fight. Tiny kidnaps Greenie. Haiti lets him out. But then at the cliff, Tiny pushes Greenie? Or wait, needs to be this way. Okay. Pacifist Haiti. Haiti lets Tiny out, doesn't know any better. So then, now that Tiny is free, he kills Greenie, and because his father is dead, Haiti drinks the poison. Triple poison. Yeah, family affair and poison. I think we're gonna learn some things about each other in this one. I'm assuming Tiny and Peachy get together. Peachy's gonna learn I am your mother. So then no? Interesting. Okay, so that's not enough to make that happen? What if we have an affair? So Tiny Peachy have an affair. Katie Peachy have an affair. Tiny witnesses is heartbroken. Tiny drinks poison. Before Tiny drinks poison, would Tiny have an affair with Haiti? And that heals his broken heart, so he will no longer drink poison. So we have this affair. We find out Tiny is Haiti's father. Tiny still drinks. Haiti drinks because his father is dead. And then Peachy drinks because her love is dead. So all three drink, and we have a triple poison. Greenie murders his father. Think we're gonna have to have good old affair. So I think Greenie and Peachy are gonna be together. And then I guess we'll make Bluey the father. Bluey gives me dad vibes. So that's father. I guess Peachy is gonna have an affair with Bluey. Greenie sees, and then Greenie is not gonna push. It's not enough to push. Would Greenie, with finding out that he's having an affair with his father, make him push him? No. Okay. Okay, so they need to be together, and then Bluey needs to be father. And we definitely need... Or wait, if Greenie is the father of Peachy, Greenie witnesses Peachy, Tiny together, and Greenie witnesses them together. What if they don't know their family right away? Or wait. Tiny, okay. Duh. So, Greenie witnesses Bluey and Tiny together. Would he push his father? No. Oh, no, he would push Tiny. I need to see two timing somewhere. Where's the two timing? I think this is the two timing, but I'm getting it backwards. Because in this case, he's mad at Tiny for cheating on both of them. Versus, in this case, he would be mad at Bluey and push Bluey. Okay. So we had it, I just had that part flipped. And we also kind of need to have this separate so that they can have the affair and not be stuck behind the good old family tree. Spouses murder each other. I definitely think there needs to be a jealousy plot. But if Haiti wants to be with him, what if Haiti kidnaps Greenie? And then can Haiti marry Tiny? Okay, no, he doesn't know he's gone. So if this happens, Tiny can let him out. And the spouse is the only one who is going to care. And then this is how we can get Haiti murdered. Okay, but we need some spousing here. Some spousing. Kidnap plot, I think, works, but we also need to maybe establish family things so that instead of Tiny letting him out, it's a family member. So if we have family and then Peachy is related, so then when Greenie kidnaps him, Peachy lets him out, she will push Haiti. And then he could do this. If they say, I'm your mother. Oh, okay, never mind. There we go. And no incest. So we did it. Is it a good or bad thing? I don't know how to make incest happen. I'll leave that up to y'all, but okay. Haiti wants to be with Tiny, but Tiny's in love with Greenie. So then, Haiti kind of gets over it and falls in love with Peachy. However, before, that marriage was fully cemented, he had kidnapped Greenie. Peachy, now that they live together, they're married. She found her son in the basement. So she lets him out and he tells her that Haiti is the one that kidnapped him. So she pushes her new husband off the cliff and her husband comes back for revenge and pushes her off the cliff as well. So that's how you deal with no incest, I guess. Louis avenges his mother. Well, I guess this is kind of like the protection thing. So that's going to be a mother, and then we could go here. We could establish 2 family trees here. So we'll have Tiny as the father of Greenie. So with the affairs, we'll have Tiny witness them together, and then Tiny will witness Greenie and Bluey together. No, this isn't gonna work because that won't happen. Okay. Okay. We're gonna change the order because the order always matters here. So boom, they're together, and then we have the affair between Peachy and Bluey. They find out that they are related, so that affair is done, but Tiny doesn't know that. Tiny, being upset for Greenie, pushes Peachy off the cliff. Bluey holds a seance for his mother, and then Bluey pushes Tiny off the cliff. Okay, so this is the first one I've done with incest. So now we got to figure this out without incest. Can we just have an affair that goes south? We don't have Haiti. Yeah, we do not have Haiti, so it's not like he's just gonna be heartbroken, and then he's not gonna push anybody off the cliff. He's just sad. We need anger. How can we incite anger? Maybe he watches this and then sees Tiny and Greenie together. So then he pushes Tiny off the cliff because if she sees it, she's just heartbroken. So this is the only way we can get a push. But again, we need no incest. Tiny isn't going to turn around and scare Peachy off the cliff because Tiny doesn't know how any of this happens. Unless... No, that's not going to work. Because if Peachy does a seance, then she's going to want to kill Bluey, and then that doesn't work. This happens, this happens. I mean, she would push Tiny, and then... Oh, okay. Peachy pushes Tiny. Greenie, the last lover of Tiny, has a seance, tells him it was Peachy. So then Greenie pushes Peachy off the cliff. Bluey has a seance to hear what happened to his mother, finds out it's Greenie. So then Bluey pushes Greenie off the cliff. So instead of having the double, we have the one affair, but then a lot of back and forth cliff pushes and seances. But we got it with no incest. Peachy murders her rescuer and drinks poison. But why? Why is she gonna drink poison? We have the mirror. The mirror's gonna praise Peachy. We could have the mirror. Yeah, Hades gonna learn about the mirror, and then he can kidnap Peachy, and then Greenie can let her out. But then why would she murder him? Why would she murder him? Would Haiti kidnap her even if... Okay, so even if she was his mother, he would still get mad about the mirror and kidnap her. Okay. So this happens. Or wait. We do this. I'm your mother. And then lets her out. He would push Haiti for that. But maybe we also find out that Peachy is the mother of Haiti. So then she has a seance and then pushes her son off the cliff because both of her sons are dead. Peachy drinks the poison. Okay. We have our crossover with Isabel and the Queen. So Isabel gets executed. We just have a wedding and a kidnapping. So if Isabel wants to be queen, obviously King says, nah, I like the queen. Kidnaps her. King lets her out. So then I guess we'll have the queen execute Isabel. Knight loses his head. We have Isabel and Bernard. That'll help us out. We have the wedding. They'll get married. The king, okay, the king and the queen will get married. And our knight and king can't get married because the king is straight. What if Isabel is married to the knight and then the king wants to be with Isabel, but she says, I cannot, sir, I cannot love you. I am in love with the knight. So the king goes, well, I can take care of that. Executes the knight. So that's how the knight loses his head, by the hand of the king, not by the hand of Isabel. Is interesting. We could just, oh, she's mad. Okay, so they don't even get married afterwards. Interesting. So she is gonna have to marry the king because that's the only way she can execute somebody. She has to be royalty. And then she's not gonna say she's in love with anybody. But, what if Bernard and the knight get married and they're in love? Isabel would love to marry the knight, but he says, nope, I am in love with Bernard. So as a revenge plot, she marries the king. And now that she has the power, she executes, or let me flip this. She wants to be with Bernard. Okay. She wants to be with Bernard, and then with the revenge plot, she then executes the knight. That one wasn't too bad. Not too bad. Isabel hates everyone. Well, I think we can make that happen. So, king and the queen are together. Isabel wants to be with the king. Obviously, she hates the queen. And so, she is going to kidnap the queen. While the queen is missing, the king... Okay, that doesn't work because I guess she's not dead. If the maid lets her out, would the maid turn around? Maid isn't gonna turn around and do this. So Isabel is gonna try to get with the king, can't because of the queen. Isabel's like, fine, I'm gonna try to get with the maid. That doesn't work because of the king. So then Isabel kidnaps the queen. The king lets her out. So then they're mad at each other? No. I guess in this case, she still needs to get mad at the maid. So if the maid lets the queen out, she doesn't really care. So I don't think she's going to turn around and kidnap Isabel. But if it's the king, then the maid gets mad at Isabel. So I guess in this case, this is what makes her mad at the maid. So she's mad at the queen here, mad at the king here, kidnaps the king. King gets let out by the maid, who is angry. So now that the maid is angry, she kidnaps Isabel, which I guess makes Isabel then hate her. So Isabel hates everyone. Yeah. Queen is avenged by her spouse. Well, so queen is not going to marry in the beginning. But the Baron would kidnap the queen. So Baron would kidnap queen. That doesn't leave anything open. Well, Isabel rescues queen. So then, let's see. Isabel and the queen marry. So then Isabel kills the Baron. Wait, do you not care that this happened? If this happens first, If this happens first, she would kidnap. Baron would do this, right? And then we could have this action, right? Baron would execute Isabel. Okay. So yeah, Queen is avenged by her spouse. Baron kills Isabel. Interesting that the Isabel one was the easy one to start with, but let's do the other one where Isabel kills the Baron. If this happens first, and then Isabel lets her out, no, she's angry, so she's not gonna let her out. This is the only way that she lets her out. So what if she tries to marry the Baron? That doesn't happen. But then she marries the Queen. Because she's mad about the Baron's earlier rejection, she doesn't kill him. What if this happens, they get married, and then Baron kidnaps Isabel, Queen lets her out, so then Isabel kills Baron? Okay, so this isn't really like avenging her spouse in a way. This is like Isabel killing the Baron because he also kidnapped her, but it accomplishes the goal. So I guess that works out in our favor. Usurper dies, and I think our usurper can be Isabel here. I think she's gonna be mad that the queen rejects her. So then she's gonna kidnap her, take the throne. The knight lets the queen out. He's gonna be mad, but he can't do anything to execute. Oh! Okay, the queen will remarry to get her crown back. And then she'll turn around and execute Isabel. So the knight's only role is to let the queen out. The queen is like, I got this. I'm just gonna weasel my way back in. You know, she wanted me once. She'll want me again. I was spent some time in the cage. I learned my lesson. Now that we're married, I take her out and the usurper dies. Isabel gets executed by the king. All right. So we know that king will have an affair. Okay, so he will have an affair with any of the ladies. It does not matter. But we know we need Isabel to be executed. Now, why is she gonna get executed? I see. So Isabel, what if Isabel wants to have an affair with the maid, but she says, you know, I cannot because I love the king. But maybe even the queen. Maybe the queen sees the affair and she's angry. You know, the maid's a hot commodity. Everyone wants the maid. The queen gets rid of the king because she is upset. And then because of this, maybe oh, she won't get with Isabel. If this happened, she takes them out and then king takes out the queen. That leaves the king open to marriage. But at that point, Isabel, so that they could get together. Do we want them to get together? That's the question. If this happens and then the maid comes back, she'll only have an affair with the king. But Isabel could see it, and then we could kind of have a repeat here. So then Isabel kills the maid again, and then the king kills Isabel. Okay, so we just have two scenarios that repeat themselves. It's just one is with the original queen. Isabel then kind of takes her place, and then we have a repeat situation because of good old maid reviving. But interesting. Isabel beheads the monarchs. So no one's gonna get with Isabel in the beginning. Yeah, they love each other. We could put them together and bam, we got a happy marriage. Isabel is not gonna kidnap though until we try to put her with somebody. So if we try to put them together, she's gonna be mad that the queen's there. However, king doesn't know that the queen is missing. If there is amnesia, is he open to marriage? Okay. Isabel wants to marry the king. Queen's in the way. Kidnaps the queen. King forgets, who am I married to? Who's the queen? I don't know her. So then he gets married to Isabel. And because this was like a whole plot, no, that doesn't happen. Okay. But she could go ahead and execute the queen. So this can happen. If she has amnesia, can she execute the king? No. Okay. So we got one monarch dead. I wonder if prior to the forgetting. Oh. We undid things. Can she try to get with both of them? No, because that's not gonna. What if we're okay? What if the king forgets from the get-go? And then Isabel and the king get together. So then Isabel gets mad at both of them. Can she she doesn't execute. She won't execute there. But the fact that they like the same guy is giving me hope. What if Isabel forgets she's with the king? Okay, the king forgets he's with the queen, marries Isabel. Isabel forgets that she is with the king. So then she tries to get with the queen, and then will execute the king, and then she will not execute the queen. Why will she not execute the queen? Unless this happens and maybe the queen kidnaps her for killing the king. But then the queen forgets that she kidnapped Isabel and lets her out. So now Isabel, with retaliation, kills the queen. Okay. So wrong person got kidnapped, but definitely had to have everyone have at least some kind of bout of amnesia. So Tiny murders his lover. And we're gonna have to have, I guess, Tiny and Peachy love. And then Tiny and the dog love. I think we gotta have, maybe Peachy doesn't like the dog. So then Peachy, no, Peachy won't get rid of the dog. But Peachy would kidnap the dog. Tiny lets her out, knowing that, Peachy did it. And because he loves his dog, he takes care of Peachy. Honestly, I respect having that much love for an animal that you would kill somebody over it because, pets are family, man. Maid commits a crime. We also have the dog. Are we committing a crime because something happens to a dog? Let's see. Okay, so we can have the affair with the dog. Let's see. The king can be upset that the dog is two-timing. So then the king pushes the dog. And then the maid has a seance with the doggy. Finds out the king did it. And then pushes the king. But now maid commits a crime to avenge the king. Instead of doing the seance yet, the dog pushes the king off the cliff. The maid is wondering what happened to the king. Finds out it was the dog. And so then that's not enough because the dog would need to be revived. And then if we get rid of this, the maid, okay. So I guess because the king and the maid already have a relationship, we don't need that first frame. So we can do all of this, and then dog comes back. And so now both people push off the dog. Poor doggy. It is not fair. You were just sharing your love, and everyone had to be so cruel. Queen executes her husband. I guess the dog can accidentally kidnap her. Baron can let her out. They get married, but then the Baron wants to rule alone and kidnaps the queen. The dog, just being playful, lets her out. So then the queen, knowing that the Baron actually meant to kidnap her, executes him. Yeah, because see, the dog was just doing it because he was playing with a little lever. Baron, there's full intent in that face. I think the execution is a little bit deserved. So Isabel punishes spouse for infidelity. We still have the dog. So I think what needs to happen, because I know in a way Bernard has an affair with the dog. I think Isabel and Bernard need to be married. I think Isabel needs to witness an affair between Bernard and the dog. Now, because of this, Isabel is not going to kidnap Bernard. I think this is correct. The only one, though, Isabel will kidnap is the dog. And then if Bernard lets the dog out, we know that Bernard is unhappy with Isabel. Now, is Bernard going to be unhappy enough to have an affair? Ah, so Bernard's like out of love. So now Bernard's going to have an affair with Edgar, and Isabel will see. Now that Bernard has had 2 affairs, will she now kidnap Bernard? And she will. So Isabel punishes spouse for infidelity. Basically, first one wasn't a true affair, but because of Isabel's actions against Bernard's best friend, he has an actual affair, and Isabel locks him in a cage. So she punishes him for infidelity. The execution. Can we have... So she will love the dog, but, we do know that the dog will accidentally kidnap the queen. The knight isn't going to sit on the throne. Would he sit on the throne if he gets executed? If he gets rejected first, so no, he's still loyal to the queen. So what if, yeah, this happens, and then I know the dog will sit on the throne and let her out, but then I don't know, she can't exactly get the throne back from the dog. And I don't think the dog is gonna execute her. Maybe the dog kidnaps the knight? Maybe the dog kidnaps the knight. The queen loves the dog. And then knight, she lets the knight out. Knight then kidnaps dog because he's upset. Queen then sees, oh, my dog, the knight has kidnapped you. And because the knight kidnapped her beloved dog, she executes him. So that is the execution of the knight. Now the queen. Let's get rid of all of these. So that happens. I wonder if will the dog do the execution? That's the question. Maybe knight lets her out. Queen turns around. Or wait. Queen turns around, kidnaps dog, takes back crown. Knight lets... Nope. She lets him back out. Because then if dog kidnaps again, takes crown. But this is too many frames, because then the next frame would be the execution. And I don't think there's any we can get rid of. If queen gets kidnapped, and then the knight and the dog love each other, and then dog lets her out, but then, okay, dog has throne, dog lets her out. Let's see, queen then kidnaps dog again. Knight lets dog out, finds out the queen did it. He now is no longer loyal. Okay, so he's now no longer loyal to the queen. He takes the throne, and then he will now execute the queen. Okay, so instead of the dog, I wanted the dog to do the execution, but it kind of makes sense why it has to be the knight. So yeah, instead of double dog, we have dog takes the crown, and then knight takes the crown so that he can do the execution. Because only way she's letting the dog out is after she gets her crown, and that's too many frames. Killed by own pet. Oh no. How do I make you the pet? Or y'all just love? Is that if we have like double love? Okay. So we have this. And then I guess y'all fight. So we have double love. Then there's a fight. And then no push though. No push. No push. If you fight the dog. Okay. We're not pushing the dog over a fight. But we're gonna have to have a push and then a seance. I think we both need a love. Okay, what if instead we have a fight. Okay. Instead of killing, Greenie is gonna kidnap Bluey, but then Dog is gonna let him out because Bluey is angry. Now he pushes Greenie off the cliff. The dog has a seance with Greenie to find out what happened because he misses him. He finds out Bluey did it. So now the dog pushes Bluey or barks Bluey off the cliff. Oh, just a dog. Such a loyal dog until the end of all the owners. Honestly, though, poor dog. Dog murders maid. And we have cliff and execute. So I think we have options. I guess dog will kidnap king on accident. Dog will sit on throne. And then maid lets the king out, finds out it's the dog. You know, king would turn around, kidnap dog so that he could sit on throne, and then he'd probably do the same as the queen and let him out. But even then, I don't think the king... Yeah, the king is not going to execute the dog. Even if he lets the king out, the king is... Yeah, the king is going to take the first chance he can to take out the dog and take back the throne. Now, if this happens, or if the dog kills the king by pushing him off the cliff and comes back, will the maid be mad at the dog? Because I know she has a thing with the king, but that doesn't seem like she cares. Maybe she doesn't know that he pushed him off? Or if that happens, no. If you come back, sit back on throne, you can execute the king. Would the maid be mad about that? Okay. So with execution, the maid is upset. But this is too many frames as well. But we're getting somewhere. I mean, if this is here, he still kills dog. But it also just says that dog murders maid. It doesn't say that dog executes maid. So if we leave this, will the maid push the dog? Okay, the maid will push the dog off the cliff. Now, instead of, turning around doing this, we could have the dog as a ghost, scare the maid off, so now the dog murders the maid in ghost form, but it still counts. Butler tries again and succeeds. We have ballroom, gun, and professor. Okay, Devil just scares professor. Butler do anything with professor? Duke do anything with professor? Okay. Well, professor doesn't provide. So, what if Devil swaps out the gun, Butler grabs gun, tries to kill the Duke. That doesn't work. So, okay, he doesn't put the gun back. If the Devil puts the gun back and then Butler, no. Will he talk to the professor? No. What is the purpose of the professor is my question. I don't think the butler's not gonna like shoot the professor. He has the gun behind him, but he's not gonna shoot him. And then in the ballroom, that's not gonna work. Unless instead of trying to kill the Duke, he's trying to kill... Yeah, okay. Instead of trying to kill the Duke, he's trying to kill the Devil. Butler talks to the professor, like, how do I kill the Devil? He gives him a real gun. So now the Butler goes and he misses. How can I make him not miss? I mean, he can kill the Duke there. Maybe, can he try to do the gun twice? Okay. So him talking to the professor about the Devil is like a red herring. So he's not actually trying to kill the Devil. He just saw the Devil. And then the professor, thinking that's what he's going for, gives him the gun. Instead, the Butler uses it on the Duke. So he tries to kill the Duke again and actually succeeds this time. Isabel loses her head. Well, I think first off, we have the king think that the queen is dead, so that the king will marry Isabel. And then the queen's not dead. So then, when the queen talks to the king, finds out that Isabel is the new spouse. So then the queen executes Isabel. So Isabel loses her head by the hand of the queen. So now we need by the hand of the king. What if we have king thinks the queen is dead. They get married. Isabel runs into the queen, finds out that the king is kind of two-timing them, not intentionally, and wants to execute him. Well, devil steps in, puts a little pitchfork there. So then when she goes to execute the king, no. She is rejected by the king and then they get married. Okay. So that builds her hatred for the queen. And then could the king be mad and execute Isabel? Okay, so we don't even have to do the pitchfork with the execution. It's just straight up Isabel dislikes the queen because she's married to the king. Once she finally gets married to the king, she kills the queen. King finds out, oh, the queen wasn't really dead and your new wife killed her, so he kills Isabel. The queen remarries. So I mean, the devil would kidnap her, and then the knight will let her out. I mean, oh, she only wants to marry because of the throne. Even, okay, if she has the crown, will she? Okay, so she will marry if she has the crown. The knight doesn't necessarily have to have the crown. That's only marrying once, unless... Okay. Devil kidnaps queen, knight lets her out, so she loves the knight. While this was all happening, the maid took her chance and took the throne. Because the maid has the crown, the queen marries her, but has that kind of scheming look. So the queen takes care of the maid. And now, because she's free to marry who she loves, she marries the knight. Detective arrests murderer. Can the I don't think the butler can kill the devil. Oh, actually, if the devil is in the painting and then the butler sees it, he can grab the gun and then shoot the painting. But that doesn't murder him. He moves out of the way. And the only other person who could be there is the detective, and the detective can't arrest someone who... Oh, actually, there's a revive. Okay. So, grabs that. Detective goes into the painting. So then Butler shoots the detective unintentionally. The detective comes back to life, and then he turns around and arrests the butler for killing him earlier. That would be honestly a kind of a trippy thing to be like, you killed me. And then the person who's getting accused is just absolutely confused. It's like, how did I kill you if you're standing right there? But all right, yeah, that's how it's done. Duke imprisons his wife, so there has to be some kind of motive there. Unless it's the same kind of thing where Devil is the witness, Duchess sees it, she grabs the gun, Detective takes the spot, and then in the ballroom, the Duke witnesses the Duchess kill the person in the painting because the Duke is scared. He imprisons... Oh. Wait. He does it because he thinks she stole the gun, not because she killed somebody? Okay. Interesting. So, we gotta take this out of there. And then... he notices the gun's missing. If that happens... we have that witness. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. She doesn't put the gun back, so she's just gonna keep shooting the painting. Is it... Oh, okay. So she sees the painting, she's gonna go for the gun, but the devil swaps the gun. So this happens. She goes to shoot the painting, obviously nothing happens. She doesn't put the gun back. Does he put the gun back? Okay, he puts the gun back. And then he learns that the gun is still there. We're missing some step here. Maybe instead of her shooting a painting and we having to waste the witness spot on the devil, if she just sees the devil, okay, she just sees the devil in the ballroom, then will she go grab the gun? Okay, she will go grab the gun, and then I guess the detective can witness her in the ballroom, or yeah, it didn't seem like he cares because there's no like exclamation point or anything over his face. So he sees her in the ballroom, and then he tells the Duke that he saw her with the gun. So then she puts the gun back before the Duke can realize anything's wrong. He imprisons her, but then he goes back home and realizes the gun is still there. Maybe he needs to see the gun's missing first. So she grabs it, then he sees gun is gone? No, because I mean, to me that's learning that she didn't steal the gun. So the level is called telephone. And the only kind of telephone message we have is the detective telling the Duke that the Duchess has the gun. Now, if she grabs gun or devil swaps it and then she grabs, well, the detective isn't going to care actually. She has a fake gun. So, she grabs real gun, sees detective, puts gun back. Gun gets swapped. Detective tells him that he saw the gun. And then does this. And then he goes to check the gun after? Okay. So technically she does steal the gun, but like puts it back. But the whole thing is just that when he comes back, his gun's not even there. It's the fake gun that the devil put. So there's the whole telephone aspect. But I don't know. This one was weird. Knight executes his spouse. So there's gotta be a reason here. Gotta be a reason. There's no throne. So it's not like the queen can get mad at the knight for taking the throne or anything. And there's no revive either. So if the baron kidnaps the queen and then the knight lets him out or lets her out, then they can get married. But why would we want an execution here? And it has to be execution, so he has to have the throne. He has to marry whoever the royal person is. So if this happens, I think they can definitely get married. If Queen turns around, kidnaps Baron, Knight isn't going to let him out because he's still mad at him for earlier. Well, the devil? Devil won't let him out. Maybe this happens? So then, okay, so Devil's the one who kidnaps the queen, and then Knight lets her out. I mean, well, Baron will technically let her out, actually. So then the Baron so they can get married. All right, so they're married. I know the Baron can turn around and kidnap the queen, and then the Knight lets her out. But then, if we do a push, Queen would push the Baron. So then the Knight and the Queen can get married. And it's not like he's going to turn around and do that. Other thing is, Devil can do this. So then if the Knight and the Queen tries to execute the Knight, he can turn around and execute whoever his spouse is. And it does say his spouse and not Queen. So I wonder if this means he can marry the Baron. So if the Baron kills the Queen, are you open? Okay, you are not open to relationship with him. But say the Knight rescues. Say the Knight rescues here. Okay. And then they get married. Baron kills the Queen. Knight, being all lonely, marries the Baron. The Devil's gonna come in and he's gonna mess with the good old guillotine. So now that the Baron is married, he tries to execute the knight. It doesn't work. The devil takes that right back. And then the knight executes the Baron. So yeah, that keyword of spouse there makes you realize it may not be the queen who's necessarily dying. That's all interesting though, it all makes sense. Everybody dies. Everybody dies at some point. Well, guess we'll have Edgar and Lenora together. We'll have Isabel want to get with Lenora. And then, what am I doing here? Isabel grabs the wine, or grabs the poison. Lenora drinks it, though. Because Lenora drinks it, Isabel's gonna drink the poison. But I think she's gonna need to do it last. I think maybe instead, maybe Edgar and Bernard get together. So then Isabel wants to be with Edgar. And then, no, she's just gonna drink it every time. Oh wait, if Lenora's dead, Edgar will drink the poison. Edgar will drink, Isabel will drink. So we just need a reason for Bernard to drink. If he just gets... If before this happens, if Edgar rejects Bernard, I think, yeah, Bernard's just gonna drink the poison. So technically, the only one who doesn't drink it right away is Isabel because she only gets upset once her love dies. Everybody dies, but with a different group and more frames. So we'll have, oh, what am I doing? We'll have Tiny and Peachy together. We'll have Haiti want to be with Peachy. And then Hades gonna push Tiny off the cliff. All right. But then we're gonna have Peachy get with Greenie. Haiti doesn't know that she got married to Greenie, so then he tries again, finds out, oh, you remarried Greenie. Well, we're gonna take care of that real quick. Now, Peachy, she has multiple husbands to choose from, but we're gonna say she's loyal to Tiny, her first, and finds out that Haiti killed him. So then Peachy kills Haiti. And then because Haiti is upset that he died and, all this effort was in vain, he kills Peachy. So everybody dies. But yeah, this cliff really, really do be killing people. Let me tell you. So Isabel drinks poison for her unrequited love. Well, we know that she doesn't feel heartbreak, but she can be married. Lenora forgets. Lenora marries Edgar. And then that just makes her upset. That doesn't break her heart. Because then she's just going to want to poison somebody else. Okay. Or if she gets mad, forgets, marries Bernard, that's too much forgetting. She has the love. Okay. Lenora forgets, and then they marry. If Edgar forgets, and then they get married, Lenora finds out that Edgar married Bernard, so she drinks the poison. And because because Isabel originally loved Lenora, she drinks the poison. But I guess it's no longer unrequited love? I thought it would be because Lenora no longer has feelings for her. She has feelings for Edgar. She's drinking for Edgar instead of Isabel. Okay. So basically what we mean here by unrequited love is just that they're not married. So instead of it being a one-sided marriage, it's just that Lenora never loved Isabel. So Edgar and Lenora are together. Lenora and Isabel, or Isabel wants to be with Lenora, but that's not happening. Edgar forgets. He marries Bernard. Lenora finds out that Edgar is now married to Bernard and she is heartbroken, so she drinks the poison because Isabel always loved Lenora, never got a chance. Lenora died, so now she drinks the poison as well. I feel like the marriage part should have worked, you know? That felt a little unrequited. This just feels like jealousy, but I guess it's the same. Heartbreaks for all. All of the heartbreaks. I guess if we're just having heartbreaks, it's like Peachy, Tiny are together. Tiny notices we could have Peachy with Greenie. And then Greenie can see Peachy with Haiti. And then, let's see, Haiti can see Peachy with... No, he doesn't have Heartbreak. We could do Bluey, and then Bluey sees Peachy with Haiti. Okay, so we have Heartbreak for Tiny, Heartbreak for Greenie, Heartbreak for Bluey. So we have at least 3 of them. Now we just need 2 more. At this point, Peachy can't have an affair with anybody except for Haiti because they all know, so they're mad at her. The only other way that we can make Haiti have a heartbreak is if something happens with his family. So, because if Haiti is Tiny's father, Haiti's here. I don't think that's heartbreak though. Because here, you know, we do this action. There's a heart, but that's not broken. If Haiti is Tiny's father, if Haiti has an affair with Peachy, okay? All right. Or what if Tiny has an affair with Peachy, and then Tiny sees Haiti and Peachy having an affair. Haiti, or no, this needs to be the other way. It needs to be this way so that Haiti can see it and be upset. Because then Haiti killing Tiny, I think, will cause him to be upset. Maybe. I don't know. I see no heartbreak, but I know he drank poison because of family member dying. So we're gonna go with this. Before the push though, we need Tiny to have heartbreak. So Tiny is gonna see Peachy and Greenie together. And then Peachy's gonna get with Bluey. And then I guess Bluey is gonna see Peachy and Haiti together? No. We're 1 off here. Haiti has to see Tiny and Peachy. Even after the death, Haiti is still mad at Peachy. So they can never get back together. Maybe they need to be at the end so the others can have heartbreak. So Peachy starts with Greenie. And then Peachy gets with Bluey, breaks Greenie's heart. Peachy gets with Haiti, breaks Bluey's heart. Well, because then we can put those 2 together, break Peachy's heart, and then we gotta break Tiny's. They can get together. And then we can have Greenie and Bluey get together, and that breaks Tiny's heart. So we've broken all the hearts except for Haiti. Even if we flip that around, that's not gonna work. How can Haiti have a heartbreak if he feels jealousy? If we take this away, move all this up, find out their family. Oh, so he just has to be mad before he finds out their family. And then once he knows their family and they die, then it's a heartbreak. So heartbreaks for all and heartbreaks are healed. Okay, so instead of having one person get passed around, we gotta fix some couples here. So they're together, they get heartbroken. Peachy with Haiti. Okay. This kind of sequence needs to happen, but then Haiti needs to have an affair with somebody at the end. What if we don't count Haiti's jealousy as a heartbreak? We know that Haiti will kill anyone, but there has to be a way we can push Tiny, Peachy, Greenie, Bluey to kill as well. So if we're trying to avoid breaking Hades' heart, because like I said, I don't think his counts, we start with Hades and Tiny. And then we have Hades get with Peachy, and that breaks Tiny's heart. However, because Tiny still loves Hades, when Tiny sees Peachy with another man, he is upset for Hades. Hades is his love, and even though he cheated on him, he can't believe that his new partner's cheating on him. So then, Peachy's heart's gonna get broken because Bluey and Greenie are together. Because Hades is upset, there it is. He kills Peachy because of all of this. So now we have one person out of the equation. So now Greenie is gonna see, I guess, Tiny and Bluey together. So that breaks his heart. And then I guess Bluey is gonna see Hades and Greenie. And then okay, so look, okay, this does count. So Hades' heart doesn't have to be broken. So this is heartbreak. So we just have to fix Bluey's heart. Can he get with Hades at the end? But that's not right. Tiny got fixed. Greenie got fixed. I thought Bluey got fixed. Who didn't get fixed? I mean, Peachy died. Does that not count? So Greenie and Peachy, and then Bluey sees that. So then we have Bluey's heart's broken with Peachy and Greenie. Tiny pushes Peachy off, and then Greenie's heart's broken. So then Greenie marries Hades. Okay. So this is how we heal all heartbreaks. So technically, Hades' heartbreak doesn't really count. It's more of a jealousy thing. And we have to take someone out of the equation in order to heal all the heartbreaks. So in order to do that, we have to take out Peachy. And then everyone is able to be in a relationship. 80 a couple times, but you know what? I will take it. I am done with this puzzle. Lenora and Isabel afterlife love. Well, we know that they can be married. And then Lenora has amnesia. Lenora tries to marry, or no. We're gonna have Edgar and Bernard get married. Lenora tries to get with Edgar. So then Lenora drinks the poison. Isabel drinks the poison. And then in the afterlife, they don't care. Because she's thinking about Edgar in this moment. If Edgar and Lenora are together, and then Isabel wants to get with Lenora, she is going to poison the wine. But then we're going to have Lenora get amnesia, Isabel get amnesia, and then they get together. Before Isabel can unpoison the wine, Lenora drinks it, and then Isabel drinks that, but that doesn't work. If Edgar and Bernard are together, and then Isabel wants to get with Edgar, Lenora wants to get with Bernard. If Lenora drinks the poison, and then Isabel accidentally drinks the wine, can they just get married in the afterlife? No. There has to be a connection pre-afterlife. They're not just going to get married here. I did get them both to die though, so that is one step. What if we take this step out? What if she wants to get with Okay. What if she wants to get with Bernard or with Edgar, gets ready to poison, but then she meets Lenora and falls in love. Lenora drinks the wine. Isabel then drinks the poison. So then in the afterlife, Lenora is upset because that happens. Unless this happens, Isabel forgets about the poison in the wine completely. They fall in love. She drinks, Lenora drinks, and then in the afterlife, they are together. Okay. So she just has to grab the poison before forgetting, but she has to get married after having amnesia so that she doesn't forget about Lenora. And then we can have the whole plot, because if Lenora drinks the wine in the afterlife, she knows. And this is the best case scenario where everyone kind of died on their own and because of themselves. So it works out. Tiny and Haiti murder a couple. We have Peachy and Greenie together. And then Haiti wants to be with Peachy. He will murder Greenie. But before this happens, if Tiny wants to be with Greenie, he isn't gonna murder Peachy. But if this happens, and then the witch also wants to be with Greenie, she will murder Peachy. But this doesn't fall into our original couple, because Tiny is gonna do a seance with Greenie, and then it's gonna be Haiti. It's not gonna be the couple. But this is how he needs to do it. If Greenie and Peachy are together, and Haiti wants to be with Peachy, he is gonna push Greenie off the cliff. At the same time, if the witch wants to be with Greenie, she is gonna push Peachy off the cliff. But what if the same time the queen, the witch, wants to be with Greenie, so does Tiny, you know? Or what if he also wants to be with Peachy? I think I'm figuring something out. So we do this, we kill one half of the couple, and then the other half of the couple can die due to the witch. So what if we don't have to murder the original couple? What if the queen wants to be with Greenie? So then she kills Peachy. So then she can marry Greenie. So that's our couple we're killing. We know this needs to happen after this part. What if Haiti wants to be with Peachy? So then after this, Haiti kills Greenie. And then prior to this, Tiny wanted to be with Peachy. But what if we had two people who want to be with Peachy? And then the queen kills Peachy. So then Tiny has a seance with Peachy. And then Tiny kills the queen? Okay. So yeah, so they murdered the couple, but now they have to become a couple in the end. Of course, we have one too many frames for this. What if instead of having a couple separate of Tiny and Haiti, like if we have Peachy and Greenie together, what if we have Tiny and Peachy together? Because if Tiny and Peachy are together, we could have the witch try to get with Tiny. Now, because she wants to get with Tiny, she's gonna push Peachy. Now, because, you know, that was his wife, Tiny is gonna do a seance to figure out what the heck happened to Peachy. Because I guess now this is going on and we have motive to kill the witch. That's gonna be one part of our new couple. We can have the witch marry Greenie. Now, Haiti is gonna want to get with the witch, and in order for that to happen, he has to get rid of Greenie. So now Tiny is gonna push the witch off the cliff, and then Haiti is gonna push Greenie off the cliff, and finally, Tiny and Haiti are gonna become a couple in the end. This one, you know, with the other, I was so sure we couldn't take a frame out, but as long as you add, I guess, you know, Tiny or Haiti to the equation, it makes things easier. Everyone drinks poison, but now we have Juliet. So I think we're gonna have a similar thing here. We're gonna have Isabel, Lenora get married, and then we're gonna have Lenora forget that she's married. At the same time that they're married, we're gonna have Edgar and Bernard get married. So then when Lenora tries to marry Edgar, she is gonna drink poison. Isabel's gonna drink poison. Now with Edgar and Bernard, we're gonna say Edgar forgets. Edgar forgets about Bernard. So then Edgar and Juliet get married. So when that happens, when Bernard tries to go back, Bernard's heartbroken. So then he drinks poison. Then how do we get Edgar and Juliet to? I think we need to finish off with Isabel and Lenora. I think starting with them, we run out of options. 'Cause I think our last person we want to drink is Isabel. If Edgar and Lenora are together, and then Bernard wants to be with Edgar, he goes ahead and drinks. If Juliet wants to be with Edgar, she's heartbroken, she drinks. And then Lenora's gonna forget and then marry Isabel. Edgar is gonna be heartbroken, so he will drink. And why would Lenora drink? Because if Isabel forgets, they're gonna just fall back in love. We need to stagger as much heartbreak as we can. So I think, actually, instead of these two being together, maybe we do start with Isabel. And then everyone tries to get with Isabel. And Isabel's just a heartbreaker. So all this happens. Everyone's drinking. If Lenora forgets, problem is, if Lenora gets with anybody, they no longer have a reason to drink. Unless we save this heartbreak. Lenora forgets. Marries Edgar. Or no, she forgets. Edgar, Bernard get together. And she wants to be with Edgar. That breaks her heart. He's with Bernard. And then Edgar forgets he's in a relationship. Bernard forgets he's in a relationship. That gives him a reason to drink again. But not Bernard. Like, this would do this. And then we have everyone but Bernard. So we have too much relationship happening. Because if everyone drinks poison, we know we gotta essentially have at least 5 frames. Or wait. Instead of Isabel breaking everyone's heart, this happens. This breaks 2 hearts. Because if he forgets and then tries to get with Isabel, he's gonna drink. Bernard's gonna drink. Yeah, Edgar's gonna drink because his heart got broken, and then Bernard's gonna drink because his husband's dead. Heartbroken. So then all we need here is just Juliet getting rejected. Yeah, okay. So instead of one person rejecting everybody, we have to have a relationship, and then kind of like how Isabel will drink because her wife is dead, Bernard drinks because Edgar is dead. Knight and maid have a royal wedding. I think we see that the maid and the king have an affair. Or is it this way? It might be this way, actually. So this happens, and then we're gonna have the queen kidnap the king. Then the maid is gonna let him go. While this is happening, actually, can we even have an affair with these two? No. This needs to happen so that we can have a retaliation where the king then kidnaps the queen. And then the knight's gonna let her go. And then, boom, they get together. And then, you still love the king, even though he kidnapped you. Okay, so never mind on this one. We know someone has to see the affair at the start. That's the only thing we have that can trigger other events. Instead of the queen seeing the affair, what if we have the knight with seeing the affair? Because now the queen is clueless. So the knight can kidnap the king. The queen is confused. Why were you trapped? The king says the knight did it. So now the queen will kidnap the knight. So this is what we need to do to like demystify the queen for the knight. And so now the maid's gonna let him out, and she's gonna say, or he's gonna say, the queen did it to me. And because the king, because I don't think he can sit on the throne. Yeah. He cannot sit on the throne until the queen technically gives up her crown, even though they're married. So the king is now gonna kidnap the queen so that he can get the crown back. However, the crown is now up for grabs. So the maid is gonna take the crown. Now, she lets the queen out, but because the king still wants the crown, he's gonna turn around, kidnap her. Knight is gonna let her out. Crown is up for grabs once again. But this time, the knight grabs it. So now, because the maid has been demystified of the king, the knight has been demystified of the queen, they should. There we go. So now the knight and maid have a royal wedding. Butler murders a murderer. Interesting, because only really the butler murders things. I guess we could have the butler witness some stuff now. I mean, I don't know how they would murder each other, though. What if we go ahead? What if Butler goes ahead and murders the Duke? Okay, no one said that the butler can't murder twice in this scenario. And when he does that, Duchess is gonna witness, so then Butler puts gun back. Well, then who's the Duchess gonna murder? Because I don't think anyone's gonna murder the detective. She would grab, and then, yeah, so she's gonna hide the gun for the detective. And even if he was there to witness, that's not gonna do anything because she could put the gun back. He could go grab the gun and then kill her, but she never actually murdered anybody. However, I remember we did have that the Duke will shoot the detective to avoid prison. So, if, okay, if the butler murders the Duchess and the Duke sees, right? Butler's gonna put the gun back. At this point, I think the detective is gonna look for Prince. So. So this happens, right? But then we're gonna have the Duke touch the gun, or is he not gonna touch the gun? If he touches the gun and he sees the prince and then he witnesses them talking, right? So he witnesses the butler and the detective says, "Hey, I think the Duke is the killer." So now Duke grabs the gun and he is going to shoot the detective. But Butler is going to witness this whole charade. Duke puts gun back. Butler grabs it. We have one extra scene. Maybe the butler doesn't have to know he murdered a murderer. Maybe he just has to murder the Duke like he would, and I just have to make sure the Duke kills the detective first. Right? So we get here with the prince. I mean, we could do the prince or the witness. I think we're going to be the same either way. So then Duke has to witness the butler and the detective talking. So the detective says that he found the murder weapon for the crime of the Duchess. Well, that makes the Duke freak out. So he grabs the gun and then he shoots the detective and puts it back without anyone knowing. The butler grabs the gun to kill the Duke because, I mean, he just wants to kill him anyways. And then he goes ahead and kills him. Okay, so yeah, he doesn't. It's not like he has to know that he's doing it for the greater good, but he is killing who he wanted to kill anyways, and it's for the greater good. So, heartbroken Haiti breaks two hearts. How do we get Haiti to be heartbroken? Because I think if he gets rejected, he's just mad. If he sees her again in the woods, apparently he's not angry enough. If it's the prince, but he's not in love. So he isn't in love after the rejection. Okay. So what if Haiti gets rejected by Snowy, and then Haiti gets rejected by the prince? I guess we could also have the witch gets rejected by the prince, because that will make her turn the prince into a frog. And then she goes to the mirror, sees that Snowy is fairest of them all, and then turns her into a frog. Now, because of this, if they try to tell Haiti, hey, I'm a frog, I need a kiss, he still goes in for the kiss, even though he was previously rejected. If they don't have this conversation, he just refuses, but no one is heartbroken. Because we could do both frogs. And I don't think that counts. All right. Now, so Haiti is rejected here. If Haiti is also a frog, so if he rejects the witch, gets turned into a frog himself, what happens? Okay, so they refuse to kiss, and they refuse to kiss, but no one is heartbroken. What if we add that Snowy and the prince have fallen in love before? So they fell in love, they kissed. Haiti tried to get in there, didn't happen. So then, when Haiti tries to kiss Snowy, okay, so that breaks Snowy's heart. What about the prince? And that breaks the prince's heart. So we got the breaks two hearts part, but how do we get Haiti to be heartbroken? Okay, it's the fact that he doesn't know they're frogs, or he doesn't know who the frogs are, and that's why he's refusing to kiss. Let's see, what if Haiti is our first one turned into a frog? So Hades turned into a frog. We're gonna move these down here. And then he tries to get a kiss with Snowy. There's no heartbreak yet. Does he need to see Snowy in the woods first? Because now we have a heart. Then he gets turned into frog. Tries to go in for the kiss. There it is. Okay, so now Hades heartbroken. We lost, though. We lost a little bit of our plot here. We add that. And then we add the scene where Snowy and the prince are talking. There we go. So Haiti is heartbroken because he fell in love with Snowy first. She refused to kiss him as a frog. He just kind of did his froggy thing, did not interact with them for the rest of the time. The prince and Snowy get turned into frogs, and then they think the other frog is their love, but it's really Haiti. And when he refuses to kiss both of them, they are heartbroken. That's kind of sad, though. Everyone's heartbroken. Family afterlife affair. Okay, so I'm assuming we're having an affair when we're a ghost. And we know that you can't say you're a parent once you're a ghost. So if we do Tiny is the father of Peachy, and then Greenie's the father of Bluey. If we have this realization later, so like Peachy sees this happen, and then Peachy sees Greenie with Bluey, she would take care of Greenie. Okay. And then we find out y'all are related, but that doesn't help. I don't know if we need to kill. Maybe it's family like this first, then we have the kill. If this happens, Tiny is her child. Maybe it needs to be Bluey. So then she'll take care of Bluey. Tiny Peachy get into a fight. And then she kidnaps Tiny. Greenie lets him out. That might be adding another affair. So we add another affair of Greenie and Tiny. Okay, so then that makes him mad. So then he will push Peachy off. Now, the affair needs to be Peachy Bluey, but Bluey's upset because Peachy's the one who killed him. If they get in a fight, she will kidnap. Tiny can let out. Tiny can kill Peachy. Or is that who we want? Maybe instead of trying to incite anger for the push, will Greenie just... Okay, Greenie will push Tiny because that's who kidnapped him. Do we need to, like, end our affair with, like, Tiny and Bluey so that they're in love whenever we get to this point? This doesn't make them related anyway. How come we got them both dead? We have enough frames. I don't think we need that one. We need some relation here. We need that shock. If I am your mother, I am your father. Okay. If we do this, Peachy is the mother of Tiny. Peachy is also the mother of Greenie. Oh. Of Greenie. So that makes Tiny and Greenie siblings. Greenie, being the father of Bluey, makes Tiny like Bluey's uncle. Now, if this is told after death, that doesn't change anything. And we know that Tiny... See, they love each other. So you do have to have another affair to establish love. But I guess because Bluey had an affair with Greenie, to make Tiny and Bluey work, they have to have an affair together at the end so that they're their last loves. Everyone dies, they get together. And then if we flip these two, they won't get together because they know they're related. But doing this, they are unaware. They still love each other. That's a problem, but we got our solution. Lenora and Juliet catch their husbands cheating together. So, let's have Juliet Bernard. This is also a lot of frames. So, let's establish our husbands here. So, Juliet's gonna be with Bernard. Lenora's gonna be with Edgar. So, if Isabel wants to be with Edgar, we know she can poison Lenora. If she also wants to be with Bernard, she can also poison Juliet. All right. So now that they're both dead, I guess Edgar and Bernard can have an affair. Ghost Lenora doesn't care. If Lenora comes back and then sees this, she can be sad. And then if Juliet comes back, she can also see them having that affair. If they're just having an affair, then could they get married? They could get married, but if this... Do we want them to get married? If this happens and then Lenora and Edgar, that cheating happens... I think they both need to actually see. So then Juliet sees Edgar Bernard together. And then she also tries to talk to Bernard. They admit they're in love, but I guess this is not cheating together. If we focus on one couple at a time. So we have Edgar and Lenora together. Isabel wants to be with Edgar. Poisons Lenora. If she comes back and then she's gonna poison Isabel and poisons Edgar, then whenever she has a seance, he's mad at her. So then if he comes back and then has the affair, okay, Lenora is now shocked. So I think maybe we gotta have something similar happen here, because we know that Edgar got mad at Isabel, so maybe Isabel just doesn't marry anybody. Kind of sucks for Isabel, but you know what? That works. Juliet Bernard are together. Isabel wants to be with Bernard. She is going to poison Juliet. Juliet comes back seeking revenge. She is gonna poison Isabel. Accidentally poisons Bernard. And then Bernard comes back because because they're, I guess, doing their thing, they can get married. I don't think that affects the affair. She's still shocked to see him. But, it kind of makes their affair seem a little more legit. So then Lenora sees Edgar with Bernard. And then Juliet is also going to see Edgar and Bernard. But this doesn't count. Okay, are they not still married? Why does this not count? We're going to start this like we always do. We're going to have Edgar and Lenora together. I think, though, they are not going to be the ones that end up together. Because technically, Lenora can be with either Edgar or Bernard. And then same with Juliet. She can also be with Edgar or Bernard. And I think trying to keep the couple together is making me stuck. So the walls are down. Lenora can marry Bernard. Juliet can marry Edgar. But yeah, we're going to start like we always do. So Edgar and Lenora are married. Then we got to start the poison train. So Isabel is going to want to be with Edgar. Obviously, that's going to be a problem. So she grabs the poison, is going to poison Lenora. And then Edgar and Isabel get together. Now, what's going to happen is Lenora comes back and she is going to want to poison Isabel. However, she thinks she's going to poison Isabel to get back with Edgar, finds out no, Isabel is married to Edgar. At the same time, Juliet and Bernard are going to be married. We're going to have our other happy couple. Like I said, they may not end up together, but they're starting together. So when this happens, she thinks she's going to poison Isabel. Well, she accidentally poisons Juliet. And when that happens, because her heart's broken and Bernard is single, they get together. However, Bernard is missing his true love of Juliet and has a seance where he finds out that his new wife, Lenora, is the one who killed her. But now, Juliet finds a way to come back. And and in her mind, she is going to poison Lenora. However, she ends up poisoning Isabel. So now, okay, she's still on Bernard though. Unfortunately, Bernard has to reject her, but she is going to get with Edgar. Now, Edgar, missing Isabel, is going to have his own seance and get mad at Juliet. So now when they have an affair, we're going to see Edgar Bernard here, Juliet's heartbroken, and then Edgar Bernard here. I think I said that was Juliet. Lenora's heartbroken, Juliet's heartbroken. So Lenora and Juliet catch their husbands cheating together. So in order for the cheating to count, they both just had to piss off their husbands by killing their first wives, who happened to kind of almost be each other, except for Isabel. And that was Storyteller The Lost Chapters. Like I said, if you want to try them out, I'll leave the link down below in the bio so you can download it yourself. But, this was fun. Since we now have the custom level mod, I'll have to see what other packs there are out there. Or if y'all have any y'all want me to try, let me know and maybe we'll get that going. But these were really hard. I know it took me a lot longer on these than it did the actual game, which was a fun challenge, but definitely a challenge. So, like I said, I always enjoy Storyteller and I'm always down to try more levels. So let me know what y'all think. But anywho, I hope you have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time of the day it is when you're watching this, and I hope to see y'all next time. Peace out.